How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining in. Starting this right now. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for joining in. We are checking out IAE 2953 day number 2, actually, which is Aegis Day. So we're just going to run around today, kind of check out all the ships. For those of you that don't know, IAE is the International Aerospace Expo, which is the large-scale event held once a year here in Star Citizen, showing out all the ships. So let's go ahead and get this started and check this out. Now, yesterday was actually day 1. I was set to stream that one. Sorry about that. Didn't actually make it in. I ended up getting called into another friend's stream, and felt good to hang out and chill with everybody. Had been a while since we had actually done that. Drinking, having some jokes, and checking out the ships. They did release a new one yesterday that is now flyable in the game. So for those of y'all that have not played Star Citizen, this event happens once a year, like I said, and it actually gives you a chance each day to display a different set of ship makers within the game, and they'll have all the flyable ships that, as you can see in front of us, on display for you to kind of check out. You can explore them, move through them, and you can actually also rent them for free and fly them for free during the entire time of the event. So like I said, today we have Aegis. So right in front of us, this big bad boy is one of the larger ships in the game. This is the Reclaimer. It is a massive salvage ship, and when you get it crewed with enough people to run it right, this thing can literally tear up anything in front of it, and you can make money basically, as the name says, reclaiming anything that's in front of it. Over to the left is one of my favorite looking ships. This is the Saber Comet. It is a fun little ship. It used to be a little bit higher tier in the world when it came to its fighting capabilities, and it's kind of dropped off since then. But I actually love it just because that entire finish that's on it. I mean, come on, that whole camo look and everything, for being the paint design that comes exactly on the ship. I truly love just how this ship looks. It has a very sleek look, and like I said, that I'm just a fan of that paint job. I hate to gloat over it, but I really, really love that paint job. And to kind of compare it to its normal brother, this is the original Saber right here. So same ship design, just a little bit different components, a little different functionality of what it can and can't do. And it also has just, you know, the standard Aegis paint design that's on it. Still a fun and amazing ship. Like I said, hopefully maybe down the road they're going to kind of buff the sucker back out to what it used to be. I'd kind of like to see all the fighters kind of get a retweak, especially now that they released the F8C Lightning into gameplay, and little gunner ships like the Furies, which are, or as I like to call it, the big bubble with guns. Those things are pretty fun to fly around. They have a good amount of speed to them and are very agile. I just actually watched a video the other day where, shockingly enough to me, a group of Furies actually took out, I think it was a Comet and one F8 Lightning. So it all still comes down to the pilot, but I do enjoy how they fly. Now, this guy in front of us is the Aegis Eclipse. This is the stealth bomber. So this is kind of a unique ship. It doesn't have a very big weapon loadout. I mean, you don't really need it. You've got some massive torpedoes that are on it, and if you know how to use this ship going after high priority targets, you can pretty much from a distance nail them and escape and get the job done pretty quickly, and then just go rearm up and hop back out and wash, rinse, repeat. But I do love the look of it, and it does fly pretty cool, and the cockpit in it has a very cool and laid back design that I find just really well designed ship in my opinion. Now, this one in front of us, too, is another ship that I love the look of it, but right now the gameplay that is going to be used for it isn't fully in-game yet. So it's kind of up in the air of what this ship is going to really be all about and what you're going to be able to do in it. And like I said, it's, in my opinion, an amazing-looking ship. It can basically carry a good amount of crew. It has a heck of a lot of beds in it. So this is a Retaliator. It's the bomber variant. There is supposed to be a gunship variant of this coming out, but that is not flyable yet. It's still in concept. So right now we just have the bomber, but I do love the look of it. I think this look gives me kind of a nostalgic feel and a nostalgic feeling because it reminds me of a stealth plane that was from the G.I. Joe cartoon series that belonged to the bad guys, Cobra. I can't remember the name of that ship. If anybody is in chat right now and they remember the name of that plane from the cartoon, please throw it in there, man, because it's going to drive me nuts all night until I get a chance to actually search it and take a look into it. But I do love the look of it, and the way it looks when it's flying is really cool. The way the landing gear comes up and it actually kind of does this quick little morph to go into fly mode is pretty cool. Definitely a good-looking ship, but like I said, right now, not a whole lot that it's being able to utilize using it for. The whole entire idea of bombers in the game is kind of still a developing thing. We just did get the Spirit bomber variant this last patch, and I've messed around with it a little bit. It's a little tricky to kind of get, you know, a hang of how you actually direct the rate, you know, the fire that you're aiming at and where you want things to drop. So here we got basically a loadout for most of the mining things. You got, I believe that is the Freelancer, the mining version. Let's take a look here. Oh, it didn't tell me. But by the look of it, I think it's the Freelancer. And of course, you're kind of breaking down the different mining things you can mine for. Oh, thanks, Walrus. Okay, so it was just the Cobra gunship. Yeah, I wasn't too sure if it had a unique name. I know some of the vehicles like the Hiss and all that had, you know, snake-inspired names, but yeah, okay, just the Cobra gunship. All right, so what we got here is we've got the entire Vanguard lineup. You've got the Warden, the Hoplite, the Sentinel. These, I love the look of these ships. I really do. I love the fact that, as you can see right here, when the landing gear and everything's enclosed, the Harbinger, there we go. When the landing gear's enclosed, the wings fold in, and then, of course, when you're in flight, the wings come out. So each one has kind of a different variation. The Hoplite, as it says, is kind of the lighter variant, faster, more nimble. The Harbinger is going to be kind of more of a heavier base of firepower. You go over here, this is going to be the Warden. The Warden's kind of like the top dog of the group. And then my favorite over here is more of your scanning stealthy model, which is the Sentinel. And the really cool thing about the Vanguard series in general is they have some amazingly good looking paints for these ships that really, I mean, they are already a good looking ship with an amazing profile, in my opinion. But the paints that they have come out for them are really, really nice. So we're going to head over here to the next section. This is going to be one of the bigger days of IAE, as Aegis does have quite a few ships that are already flyable versus ones that are just in concept. Most of the concept ones are going to be, we'll see those closer to the end in the hologram room. Of course, one of the ones that everybody talks about and has been waiting for is the Idris, because right now they are in-game in a sense that they are an NPC vehicle you can go after, and there are little glitches into where you can steal one. I've seen one video that was pretty cool that not only did they steal it, but they managed to get the AI and NPCs that were inside the ship to actually start firing on any enemy they locked on and fired upon. So, of course, the uniqueness of the Idris is that it's definitely can take a massive amount of damage, and it has this huge cannon on the front of it, like ridiculously huge cannon. Okay, so over here we got basically some of the new cargo loadout stuff. It's kind of been the big improvement in the gameplay lately is how cargo stacks and you can actually move it. The fact that they just came out with the new tractor beam systems, especially the in-ship tractor beams, like the The Spirit Cargo variant actually has a tractor beam that can tractor in stuff from the rear of the vehicle, but then actually morph itself and slide over to the front of the vehicle. So in a sense, you could grab from the front, swing it all the way around, and self-load your into the cargo hangar. Me, I'm kind of biased. I do love the look of the Spirit ships. With those, I think are going to be coming out on day 4. I think is when the Crusader ships are going to be. It's either day 4 or 5. All right, and right here, we have the Avenger series. These are actually pretty decent starter ships, so if you're thinking about joining Star Citizen, they sell a starter pack. Not with the Stalker here, but with this one right here. And it's a decent ship to start off with. It's got a good amount of firepower. It handles well. It can hold a little bit of cargo in it. So definitely, if you're thinking about joining the game, you don't want to do a super large investment. Those are some good ships to kind of pick through in those starter packs. Now, right here we have right now the big boy. This fully crewed is one of the ships you don't really want to encounter. It's not super nimble, but it doesn't have to be. It is literally a gunship. Just, as you can see, big guns upon big guns upon big guns. And they can take a pretty good beating, too. You get a crew of friends together running this, and if everybody knows what they're doing when it comes to operating turrets and locking on stuff, and you got a good pilot, yeah, you can wreak a lot of damage with that thing. Yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes how big they lay this out. Yesterday, the first day was literally only one room, and then the main room. And then, of course, today, like I said, Aegis has a lot more ships at their disposal to show off. So we're going to hop over here to the next section. And I definitely got to hydrate my character at some point. Walrus Drake, I want to say I don't have it up right now. We got water right there, so I can take a break. Let me look at that real quick, because I am kind of curious what day that is actually coming out. I don't, like I said, have it in front of me, but I'm going to bring it up right now. All right, so let's see here. Event schedule, there we are. Okay, so yeah, day 1 yesterday was all your alien ships, and the Gaddock, the new ship, the Sullen from Gaddock, was the one that they released. I've already flown it. It's an interesting ship. First vertical takeoff ship in the game, so it takes a little getting used to. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be Crusader Industries, so that's where we'll get to see the Spirit and all the Crusader ships. The 20th to the 21st is Origin, and then 21st to the 22nd is going to be Drake, so that puts... Let me see here. So yeah, basically Tuesday's going to be Drake Day. And then Wednesday is going to be Argo Aeronautics and Consolidated Outland and Grey Cat Industries and Kruger. So a lot of your land vehicles. Wednesday, let's see here. Okay, yeah, Wednesday is going to be all the land vehicles and stuff. Thursday is going to be Anvil Aerospace. Friday is going to be Misk and Mirai. And then Saturday is going to be RSI, which is going to be all your big boys. I'm hoping to get the one capital ship I don't have in my arsenal. Even though it's still not flyable yet, I still want it. And then, of course, let's see. Sunday is going to be the end of it, which is going to be your Best in Show, which they always release a custom set of paints that only come out for Best in Show. And if, of course, you already own one of the ships out of the group of ships that they've picked for this year, you will find that day or the next day, you're going to have that paint available in your inventory. And then, of course, Monday is going to be the grand finale, which that sometimes is where they release another ship or release other stuff or give you kind of an insight of things that have gone further into concept and are close to flyable. And then, of course, the 30th is going to be the end of the whole shebang. I can't wait for the 1090 jump. Yeah. There's a few. My main one is the one I'm going to try to get this year is I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and get me a Kraken privateer. I just can't wait till that comes out out to play in the game. The whole idea of just sitting on the command deck of a carrier, watching all the ships fly off out of it and just raining hell, that's something I can't wait to do. I think that's going to be a blast. However, though, like they said, the one thing that's going to be a little tricky with those is to be able to fly the ships, and it makes sense. To be able to fly ships that big, you're going to have to have a crew. So, but that's what friends are for, that play the game. I'm pretty sure there'll be someone in our group that wants to do the engineering stuff. I mean, everybody has their things that they like doing. All right, so here we go. Here are our war fighters for this company right here. This, of course, is the Gladius, which is one of the reigning supreme fighters in the game. In fact, the single-player Squadron 42, when it comes out, the Gladius is going to be, from what the gameplay footage they have shown so far, the Gladius is going to be one of the first ships you start out with as you progress through the game. And then, of course, you're going to go slowly into the F-8C Lightning. Then this is the big boy right here, the Hammerhead. This thing is fun to have when you have a crew of people. Massive amount of guns. It doesn't fly as bad as you would think something that big would fly, which I thought was pretty fun the first time I flew mine. I was kind of shocked at the maneuverability it had. It is an easy ship to get lost in. And for a while there were some really buggy issues, like you would hop in to get in the turret and all of a sudden you're ejected out into space, which is always fun. Or if you called it in from a space station, you're supposed to go in through the front right here where the docking collar is that we're coming around right now. And you would run in from the station into the docking collar and again you were off floating in space. Fun stuff. Happened to me a couple times. And this is the Valiant, which is just a different variation of the Gladius. So it has a different weapons loadout, and then it has a custom paint scheme on it that is reminiscent of one of the pilots from the Star Citizen lore, which I think it will actually tell us here. Yeah, created prior to the Master of Flights, and it was designed after the ship flown by Condi Hillard.
I can see why some people love this style, but it's not for me.
I just stopped by and listened. I think we actually had some NPCs talking over there. I think that might actually be it for all of the secondary rooms. So we'll go, that is it. Yeah, that is. We're going to go ahead and hop down real quick and take a look at the holograms that are going to be showing of the in-concept ships. God, the first time I ever saw this thing right here, the Reclaimer, or what is, yeah, Reclaimer. I always want to say Redeemer. That's the other one. This thing, the first time I ever called one up, I could not believe the sheer size of this thing. And then I looked at the hangar it spawned in and think, is this damn thing going to fit out of this thing? Not to mention the takeoff is you're full throttle hitting it, and literally you got like about a 40-second delay before it even gets off the ground. It is definitely a beast. Like I said, since they got the new salvage stuff, the way they do it, you get, like I said, you get a crew of people running that thing, and you can chew up and tear through any ship you need to salvage pretty rapidly. And then on top of that, you can make some pretty damn good money with a full crew of people running that thing. All right, so what do we got here? If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the Vulcan. Yep. So this is the Vulcan. This is going to be a ship that some people are highly waiting for because of the added gameplay it's going to add to Star Citizen. So this basically is as it says right here, it is a refueling and it is a medium-sized refueler and repairer. So when refining and things like that come into the full gameplay, you could basically have one of these in your fleet fully loaded with fuel, and it'll repair any damaged ships that, and on top of that, refuel everybody so you can go out longer and further. And with stuff like pyro and everything coming into the game, some because ships like this are going to be a big amount of gameplay that's going to be coming down the pipe. This thing right here, this ship, I love the look of it. I'm curious to see how the gameplay is going to come into play, because what this is the Nautilus, and what this ship's entire job is it's a mine layer. So if you can imagine, if you want to wreak some pirating havoc, you'd have a couple of ships that are laying quantum distortion fields so you can nab people out of quantum, and then basically have this thing lay inside the bubble that you're knocking people out of space in, lay a bunch of mines and just start wrecking hell. And now that you could soft death, if you plan it right, you soft death anything that comes your way, and then you can hop in and jack all their crap. So definitely a good looking ship. And if I had to guess, this is going to be the, yep. And here we go. This is the Idris. As like I said, one big freaking huge gun. And this thing is a tank. There are a few missions right now that are bounty missions and certain special event missions that this thing will spawn. And I actually had a mission where I was with one guy and a couple of the people we were playing with bailed out because it was just super late. We had been playing for a long time. And to give you an idea how tanky these damn things are, him and I literally, because everybody bailed, went and grabbed 2 Eclipses. And it took every torpedo we had between the two of us to knock this damn thing out of the sky. But the hologram does not do it justice on how big it actually is. So to kind of give you reference, the turret you see right there is the same size as the huge turret you saw on top of on the side of the Hammerhead. So you remember how big that is on the Hammerhead. Now imagine it looking that small. It gives you an idea of how big the Idris actually is. So this is basically everything for day 2. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and be streaming every single day. I'm going to hop on for a little bit, do a walkthrough like we did. Any new ships that pop out that they release, I will definitely be getting in and flying and testing around. But yeah, definitely if you're new to Star Citizen, hop on in, take advantage of the free fly. Because this is one of the best times of year to try any ship without any cost to you. You can just hop in any of them, like basically you walk right up here. And as you can see, rent. You click that and it will actually show up for 24 hours in your ship inventory when you go to the ASOX terminal to call up your ships. But yeah, this is second day of AIE. Since I actually did not stream on the first day, I should be able to go into the, I think it's the Apex Hall, and we can go take a quick look at all the ships from day 1. Which are all the alien ships. And I truly like a lot of them. They definitely, especially, I think it's a Spirian, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. They have the glaive and the blade. There we go, Apex Hall. Those ships just have an amazingly unique look to all of them. Not gonna lie, they have very big Klingon vibes. Especially Bird of Prey. But yeah, this is basically the Apex Hall. This was everything that came out yesterday. And like I said, I apologize I wasn't able to stream any of that yesterday. But if you want a fun thing to go watch, go check out Dig That 32 on his channel, and you can see the video of him just kind of goofing around and all of us drinking and basically being total assholes to each other. It was a fun time. Definitely all of us needed that break and laughing, you know, let out kind of all that pent-up frustration for the past week and a half. So this is the Banu Defender. This is kind of an overlooked ship by a lot of people, but it is actually a very decent multi-role ship. You can actually do some cargo hauling in it, not much, but you can do a lot of package deliveries. It's a very easily flyable ship. Like I said, it's overlooked. I like it. It's one of those that when it transforms, I think it has a really cool look to it. Now, this is the Glaive. This ship, I think, recently got kind of nerfed from where it was sitting. I know the last standing board I saw, it kind of dropped down in the fighting. And I think that's because they did a retweaking to these weapons. And the downside about these weapons on the side is you cannot interchange them. They are not removable. This is basically what it is what you get. But it is a cool looking ship. Now this is the Prowler. This is one of my favorite alien ships. I just love the stance. Like just the stance of this thing is incredible. The way it flies is cool. Now the gameplay it's built for, it's a drop ship. We don't have anything in the game right now yet, but they are working on that. The cool advantage of this ship is if you are going to a mission where there's a lot of enemies down on the ground, you can actually have your friends standing here shooting out at them, and they won't get hit back because the shields from the ship actually protect you in these ports. But it is like I said, is a drop ship. It is fun. In fact, we're gonna, since they've got it right here, we can go check it out. I love the way the cockpit transforms on this. So as you come in here, like I said, shooting out from here, this red shield that you see actually protects you while you're in there. Oh, I just got in the co-pilot seat. Wrong one. My bad. Which I'm kind of curious to see what co-pilots in most ships are going to kind of end up being, like what their jobs are going to be. Because right now you're basically just kind of sitting there, and it's a little annoying if you're have somebody in the co-pilot that has never done it before, and you're a pilot, because right now if they hit the power, it actually shuts off the power to the ship. I had one time where it was one of the first times I was flying with Shark, and he was sitting in there, and he hit the power button, and next thing I know, we're falling out of the sky, and it took me a second, like I couldn't figure out why the hell we were dropping out of the sky for no reason. And now we're gonna have the fun little let's look down at the floor. All right. So this, give me a second here to fix this. So this is what the cockpit of it looks like. And then of course when you fire it up. So normally when you first get into the ship, everything in front of you is covered in metal. So you can't see anything. And then when you power it up, like nanoleaf technology, it folds back and reveals what you're seeing now. And I think that's just kind of just a really cool transitional effect that they did for this ship in particular. But yeah, this is definitely one of my all-time favorite looking ships in the game right now. Just because out of all the alien ships, to me, this one has one of the most... you get that alien vibe flying this ship and, you know, just chilling around it and the way it looks. All right, so now we got the two different Talons. You got the Talon and the Talon Shrike here. I don't know why I've never really been a fan of these ships. I think when I first started playing Star Citizen, the way they flew, I didn't like it. But that could have been particularly just a bad experience. I wasn't experienced flying ships yet. And I was trying to leave New Babbage in the middle of a snowstorm, and basically the minute I flew out of the hangar, I just got smacked into the side of the station. Now this is the Kartul All. This thing is kind of a uniquely cool little ship in the fact that when you take off, it completely transforms, and the bubble goes down, the wings expand out, and it just has a very unique look to it as it's flying through space. Definitely one of the cooler ships, especially in going from a docking to a transformative state. And then this right here is the Blade. This ship is one of my favorite alien ships for the simple fact, like I said, this thing to me just gives me Klingon bird of prey. But it has definitely good firepower. It is handling. It doesn't rate as high in the tier list of fighters as it used to, which again, I think when they buffed it, they shouldn't have. It as menacing as cool as a ship as it is, I think it should definitely rate a little bit higher than where it currently is standing. So let's go take a look at the map. I don't think there was anything in these side halls, but let's go look at the map real quick before I go down to the hologram area. All right, so let's take a look here. Yeah, there is nothing in the expo, the secondary halls. It's just more, it's going to be a repeat of the cargo and the mining stuff that were in the other hall that we had hopped into at the beginning. Oh, I almost forgot. And the one in the center, this is the brand new one. This is the Seelen. I have not heard how that's actually supposed to be pronounced. What I love about this ship is they sell a paint job for it that all of these curvitural accents that you see, all of the roughness that actually gives it the texture of the metal is all in gold. So as you can see, it is literally a vertical takeoff ship. So you come up in here, right here you've got your weapon rack, which I think that is one of the coolest weapon racks I've seen so far in Star Citizen. You got all your components on both sides. Then you got this elevator right here. So you have 3 levels of this ship. The second level is your hab level. So you got your bed right there and your bathroom. And then when you go all the way up to the top here, here's your cockpit. And once you load up into the seat, you get completely flipped and you go basically facing up. And I just think that is cool. And like I said, flying this thing definitely takes a little getting used to. It is definitely not the average experience. But once you get it down, it's pretty cool how quick this ship can land and transition and get in and out of things pretty quickly, especially being vertical going down. It has a very small footprint of a landing area that you need. And the way the posts of the legs are, you can actually land with stuff in between you, and you're not going to be hitting or getting, in trouble like right here knocking into things. The one thing I love the most about it is this whole vertical look, like the way you got into the cockpit and it loads you up. Kind of got me a little nostalgic because it reminded me of the movie. There was a movie that came out when I was a child called The Last Starfighter. And that's kind of how when they took off in the ships that they were in that movie, it was the same way. But they loaded up in the seats and then were basically facing upward for takeoff. All right, so now we're going to go down here. We're going to check out the hologram area. So now tomorrow, these areas are going to be filled with all sorts of land vehicles. Oh, sorry, not tomorrow. Sunday, I believe, is what I said when they do all the land vehicles. All right, so what do we had? We had here. Okay, so this is the Raylan. This is going to be the cargo one. I know a lot of people that are really looking forward to this ship just because it's got such a unique look to it. By the loadout, I'm wondering if this is going to be another vertical takeoff. I'm assuming it probably is going to be a vertical takeoff vehicle. Ah, the Banu Merchantman. I actually have this in my list. It's still in concept, of course. Anything in the hologram room is always going to be in concept. This ship is a very unique one. Nobody is quite sure what the full gameplay for this ship is going to be. All we know is that it is basically going to be a floating city in a sense. It's going to have its own cargo area. It's going to have its own shops. It's going to have its own hospital. Let me see. The one ship with the X front reminds me of Count Dooku's soul. That's actually pretty cool. Walrus, yeah. Yeah, it does look like the Solar Surfer that Count Dooku had. I didn't even think about that. That's good. That really is. Yeah, damn. You're right. Huh. It'd be pretty cool if they had kind of like an orange metallic front paint job to it. That would be pretty cool too. Yeah. So the Banu Merchantman, how I kind of describe this ship is basically a floating alien mall. And so far, it's gotten in another stage of the development to where at CitizenCon, they actually had some walkthrough images. And it looks like it's going to be pretty cool, but how the gameplay is going to figure out, it's going to be kind of interesting. It definitely something to wait to see. Oh, this one. I can never remember the name of this one. Screen disconnected. I'm going to make the first mob inside the... Okay, so I don't know why it's saying screen disconnected. This, I think, is the Sentok Eye, if I'm not mistaken. And this is another one that everything collapses and folds in theory, from what we've seen, to how it lands. But I think this one is basically just going to be a straight fighter. I know a lot of people that are looking forward to that ship. I'm going to wait to see, once it comes out. Swooless Pod Racer. Oh, I forgot they have the Noxes down here. Yeah, these things are pretty cool looking. And I know that each one of these is like a different, they have like, I want to say, memory serves me correct, 3 different variants of this thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the alien ones from day one. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of ships I'm looking forward to. I'm just, like everybody, patiently waiting to see what is going to be the ship that they decide to release, out of the blue. Hey, here you go, guys. This is, the next one. Like, they kind of hit everybody with the alien ship, the Gaddock ship, the first day. And they showed 2 other silhouettes of ships in CitizenCon that, people are theorizing. One, of course, definitely by the outline looks like the Polaris, which is amazing because I already have one of those. I'm hoping that's like one of the first big capital ships we get, because I already have the Polaris and I have the Perseus. I personally want the Perseus just because the Polaris is a Corsair and the Perseus is a blockade destroyer. So I kind of want the heavier firepower destroyer. However, though we know being the Polaris being labeled as a Corsair, it's probably definitely going to fly a lot better. But again, it comes down to the capital ships, as they're saying, which are going to be needing a full crew of people to run once everything is up to the level that they want to get everything to in the game. But I think that's definitely going to change the game because you're going to have a bunch of people running around with these big ships, and I can just imagine people talk about how hard sometimes the PvP aspect in Star Citizen already is. Can you only imagine? Oh, there we go. Render. Thought I was going to fall through the floor there for a second. There we go. Typical Star Citizen right here. The Mystery Elevator of Death. But yeah, I am definitely stoked to see how things come out with and how the capital ships come into gameplay. Because, yeah, I think that's going to ramp PvP up to a huge level. It's the elevator to Mordor. But yeah, like I said, tonight just going to be a short stream. I want to thank everybody for joining. But as you can see, that is day 2 for AIE 2953. We'll be hitting it up 7 p.m. tomorrow night to do a walkthrough of day 3 and hopefully be able to do a short stream every night all the way through the entirety of IAE, kind of giving a breakdown and feelers for the ships coming out. And of course, any day that they release a new ship, if it's something that I already have in inventory or they're not asking an arm and a leg for, and it is definitely something that was on my list, I will be purchasing those prior to hopping onto the stream, and we'll be able to hop out and fly. I definitely want to get a crew of people together for the grand finale night so we can all just go off in some ships and wreak some havoc and aim to misbehave. But again, thank you for joining in for this short stream tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having fun. Again, hop on into Star Citizen. It's free to fly right now. You can try out any ship. And if you want to, if you haven't already joined our Discord, feel free to join our Discord. We're trying to build just a nice, fun community of people that want to game up and play on different games. We're going to be doing more than just Star Citizen down the road. Again, thank you for joining, everyone. It's been a pleasure, and y'all have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and catch y'all next stream.